Hey everybody, it's Sue. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to share this DIY with you. I am making a Christmas wreath, and all I've done here is I've picked up the wicker wreath, the big star ornament that you see, in three sets of 12 plastic Christmas ornaments, and then some hot glue. And so this project ended up costing me about $5 to make, and it is pretty simple. It does require some patience and some time on your part. If you do not like hot glue projects, then this one's probably not the one for you. Although, if you don't like using wicker, it's a little bit more complicated to attach these ornaments to a wicker wreath as opposed to probably a foam wreath or one of the wire wreaths. I like the rustic look in my home, so that's the reason why I went with this wreath. I knew that it would be a little bit more challenging getting these ornaments to stick to this wreath because there's grooves and dips and things like that in a wicker wreath that you don't have, say for instance, in a foam wreath. However, if you have the time and you have a little bit of patience, then this wreath ends up working just lovely, and mine turned out just fantastic. I do have to say that in the beginning, when you're first starting to adhere these ornaments to this wreath, you feel like it's not going to work, or at least I did in the beginning. But I persevered and I pushed through. I do have to say, as well, as the first layer of these ornaments being attached to this wreath is the most difficult to put on. Now, if you're going to, in this case, I ended up going with a separate layer over the top of this first layer, which you will see later on as this video progresses. But if you don't want to add another layer to it, then by all means don't. I particularly don't like things to be perfectly symmetrical or perfectly center or perfectly round. I am called the messy mom for a reason, and that's because I just feel like nobody's perfect, so things don't have to be perfect. I do not like the perfect look. I like things to look a little messy and a little staggered, because after all, life is not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all mess up and we all make mistakes, and that's just the way life is. So in my personal opinion, I just like the way that messiness looks in general. So as you can see, I just keep on attaching these ornaments to the outside edge of it. And like I said before, the first layer is the most difficult and the most time consuming. Once you get past the first set of ornaments, it is really simple from there. You can make this wreath as big or as small as you want to. You can also use different Christmas ornaments to make this wreath. You don't just have to stick with these round ornaments that I have chosen, particularly in this project. If you wanted to, you could even make a wreath out of your kids' homemade Christmas ornaments. I do, however, suggest that you don't, if you're going to use something that means a little bit more to you, that you don't use that for the outside of your home, that you keep that wreath inside of your home, because you never know what the weather is going to do. And I would hate it if somebody put their kids' homemade ornaments outside and they ended up the wind blowing them off, or it got so cold that it shattered these homemade ornaments. So if it's something like that, go ahead and make the wreath. Just leave it on the inside of your home. It would look just as special and just as cute on the inside of your home as it would the outside of your home. But this particular one is going on the outside of my home, and I really am making sure that these ornaments are sticking to this wreath well, because I don't want to have to go back and reattach these later if the glue didn't attach so well and the ornaments fell off. Although if they do fall off, it would be an easy fix to fix them. You would just go in there and reattach the ornament with some hot glue. No problem. As far as the simplicity of this project, it is fairly simple. I mean, really, it only requires a couple different items, and it really just requires your time in order to make it. I think that I ended up making this project in less than an hour. So that goes to show you about how much time I actually spent making this project. It wasn't very long. I don't have a lot of time to devote to my projects, so that is the reason why I choose things simple like this. And as you can see here, I have completed the whole first layer of ornaments, and now I'm going through and starting to attach the second staggered layer of ornaments. Now I didn't do a complete circle all the way around it, however you could do that if you wanted to. I like the staggered look, so I only added a few on that second layer just to kind of give the wreath itself some dimension to it. I am not, like I said before, I'm kind of messy in my own life. The only time that I have a little bit of OCD and like things to be perfect is in my professional life, which of course, I work in a doctor's office, so it's hard not to be a little OCD and professional with my job. Other than that, like I've said, this is very simple to do. You will need to go through and clean up all the hot glue strings and things like that. But as far as the project goes itself, there's really nothing to it. It's fairly simple. Anybody can do it. But if you're not experienced with hot glue, just grab somebody that is a little bit more experienced with hot glue, because hot glue does burn and it will burn your skin. So just make sure that you're being very careful, because it does get a little messy with all the hot glue. But when you're applying the second layer, you can actually do the attachment of the balls to the ornaments themselves instead of on the wicker, so they attach a little bit easier. So you can see here I have finished attaching all the ones that I wanted to attach. I could not get over that star ornament in the background. I could not believe that thing was $1. It is huge. So here is just a little silver poinsettia. I bought at Dollar General. There was 4 to a pack for $1, and I'm just hot gluing that guy on there and just making sure it's nice and secure and putting it on there. And as you can see in that shot, hey everybody, there is that hole in the back of that star because that was a ornament. And so here I will just be attaching some jute to hang that up, because again I do like the rustic style of it. And there you can see that I've attached that jute to it and just tied it in a knot and then kind of made a bow at the top of it. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's really all it takes. There's really nothing to it. It turned out fabulous. I love that star. I cannot get over that star. I will probably, the next time I'm in Dollar Tree, if they have them, collect some more of those just to have them. And there it is on the front of my door. And it is nighttime, so the light's kind of bad. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you